They say that when you kill a legend, you become one. But that's not always true. When Jack McCall pulled the trigger in Deadwood, 1876, he didn't become powerful. He didn't become feared. He didn't become respected. He became something much worse, temporary, because legends echo, cowards fade. And after the gunshot, the real story began. Deadwood wasn't truly American soil, not officially. It was illegal settlement land in the Black Hills, territory claimed by native tribes and not yet fully recognized by the U.S. government. That meant something important. There was no real federal court, no official judge, no lawful jurisdiction, just miners with gold dust in their pockets and gamblers with revolvers on their hips. So when McCall was captured, they put him on trial anyway, inside a makeshift courtroom run by men who wanted peace more than justice. The trial lasted barely a day. Witnesses spoke, arguments were made, and the verdict? Not guilty. They called it self-defense. But here's what most people don't understand. Legally, that trial meant nothing. McCall walked out of Deadwood a free man. But freedom is dangerous when you don't understand the law. He thought he had beaten the system. He believed the story was over. And like many young men who taste sudden notoriety, he started talking. In saloons, on wagon trails, in railroad camps. He told strangers how he had done it. Some say he exaggerated. Some say he claimed honor. Some say he just wanted attention. He was 24, drunk on recognition. But Deadwood's verdict wasn't recognized outside that dusty mining camp. And when he crossed into Wyoming territory, federal authorities saw something different. They saw a man who had never truly been tried. He was arrested quietly. No dramatic standoff, no shootout, just paperwork. Imagine that, a killer of a legend, defeated by paperwork. He protested. He claimed double jeopardy. He insisted he had already been acquitted. But the United States government had a simple answer. Deadwood had no authority. That first trial never legally existed. 1877, Yankton, Dakota Territory. This was no mining camp improvisation. This was structured. Witnesses were called. Testimonies were reviewed carefully. McCall tried to defend himself. He claimed revenge. He claimed insult. He claimed justification. But this time, there was no sympathy. The courtroom didn't see a young man defending honor. They saw a drifter, a gambler, a man who shot another from behind. The jury deliberated. Not long. Guilty. Sentence. Death by hanging. Prison changes a man, especially when the future is measured in days. Some reports say McCall grew quiet. Others say he still talked too much. But history records something almost tragic. He wasn't some aging outlaw hardened by decades of violence. He was 24. That's barely older than a modern college graduate. Young enough to still believe consequences weren't real. Until they were. On March 1st, 1877, he was led to the gallows. No grand speeches. No cinematic final words. Just a rope. A crowd. And gravity. The trapdoor opened. And the story ended. Years later, his grave was opened. The body was found face down. Some turned it into myth. They said it meant he was clawing toward hell. But burial practices of the time often caused bodies to shift. The truth is less dramatic. But history doesn't care much about truth. It cares about memory. And here's the cruel irony. Everyone remembers the cards. The legend. The dead man's hand. Almost no one remembers the man who pulled the trigger. He killed a legend. But legends don't die. They multiply. And in trying to be remembered, Jack McCall guaranteed he never would be. And that's it. But what do you think? Did he deserve it? Please leave share, like and subscribe if you like this kind of content.